Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the moments on Dancing on Ice that are living rent-free in our heads, even though the show has ended, or until it's brought back after another 4-year hiatus. It's not cancelled, just resting, apparently. Anyway, for this list, we'll be looking at specific memorable events that occurred within ITV's figure skating competition. We aren't going with the best performances, but moments that occurred within, around, or even despite the routines from our celeb participants, even if some were paid $1,000 a second just for being there.
And we lose Pamela Anderson!
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Number 10. Hayley Tamaddon's Perfect Jai-Ho. Emmerdale's Hayley Tamaddon proved that she was playing to win Series 5 of Dancing on Ice. She was top of the leaderboard every week but one, yet her movie-themed routine guaranteed her serious consideration as champion. Dancing to Jai-Ho from Slumdog Millionaire, Tamaddon's slick routine earned her the first perfect score outside of a final. Indeed, she'd need to earn perfect scores inside the final, but she did, and was justly crowned Series 5's winner.
6 across the board! It's 30!
However, for many, her best Jai-Ho was for Series 9's final. Competing against other series champions, Tamaddon hadn't lost a step, although she was robbed by 0.5 of perfect judges' scores due to a, quote, mistake in the middle, which bizarrely no one else saw but Robin.
It's 99% perfect and there was one mistake right in the middle. I'm sorry, I saw it. I am sorry that I saw it.
Number 9. Projo Duo Debut. The number 13 is, indeed, considered unlucky for some. Skeptics will say it's just a number, but superstitious folk, who happen to be fans of Dancing on Ice, will point to the 13th series of the show in 2021 as prime example. There were a total of 8 withdrawals from the competition due to injury and the lingering pandemic. However, enter Joe Johnson and Karina Manta, a couple on and off the ice, who were brought in at the last minute but hit the ice skating. For week 2, Johnson and Manta gave a series highlight debut performance, choreographed by Christopher Dean, and whilst we should expect their talent, it's no less of a real surprise it took 13 series to bring them in. Number 8. David Seaman's unfortunate accident.
Now, it all looked good for tonight's performance until an hour ago in rehearsal, when this happened.
There is a particular manoeuvre that carries a significant risk within figure skating that even Dancing on Ice pros are reluctant to attempt, the aptly named headbanger. It's not banned, but rarely seen, largely due to the potential danger and this incident. The headbanger is essentially a human hammer throw, with one skater spinning on the spot, holding the feet of their partner, and swinging them round in a perpendicular position, with nothing between their head and the ice but imagination. If performed correctly, it's impressive. If it goes wrong, it is likely to end in A&E. As was the case with pro skater Pam O'Connor after goalkeeper David Seaman's grip slipped during a rehearsal of the routine in Series 1. A moment that haunted DOI for 2 decades.
The word from the hospital is that Pam's had a few stitches under her chin, but she's also banged her other shoulder as well.
Number 7. Gemma Collins' faceplant. Of course, whilst danger on the ice is heightened in attempting moves like the headbanger, sometimes just raising your arms can spell disaster. Now, much has been said about Gemma Collins' time in Dancing on Ice, and there's arguably justification there. However, there's a reason her fall is so memorable: the timing. Frankly, her Series 11 appearances thus far were lackluster on the ice, and controversial off it, but this routine, to Celine Dion's It's All Coming Back to Me Now, was different, elegant, heartfelt, and about to turn her chances until the GC face planted in the routine's closing seconds. She still had her highest score and was still safe, but she never really recovered.
In rehearsals it was so great, and then just at the end.
Number 6. No split decision with Ray Quinn. For Dancing on Ice, there can only be one champion. Unless you're Ray Quinn, in which case there's two and you're both of them. Not content with just winning Series 4, the former X Factor finalist also won Series 9, also known as Dancing on Ice All-Stars. We mentioned this earlier, and it was intended to be the show's last series, inviting contestants and winners of previous ones to contend for Champion of Champions. But it truly was the 2009 competition where Quinn really shined, especially in week 9, when he pulled off a huge split jump without an air of hesitation. For context, most people can't do that on the ground, let alone on the ice. The routine isn't perfect, but it's daring, and that's powerful. Number 5. Gardeners and barbers never mix. As with many celeb talent shows of its era, judging panels had to have a baddie. Pop Idol had the OG in Simon Cowell, Strictly had Craig Revel Horwood, and Dancing on Ice had Jason Gardner, saying things that people didn't like to hear amidst a chorus of boos. His remarks were infamously antagonistic, just ask Tim Healy, and arguably barely touched constructive criticism.
She's 52 and she's got 4 jobs.
But in Series 6, it was Karen Barber's ire that Gardner earned. At the time, Barber was head coach, which Gardner rather childishly insinuated as a step down from her previous position as a judge.
If your opinion still mattered, you'd be on the panel.
Barber, rightfully, went full Karen, and it looked like a physical confrontation was brewing at one point. Either way, we had our popcorn ready.
You know, Jason, you really are so offensive. You bring to this
So you
panel...
keep saying.
Number 4. The OG Bolero Redux. If it wasn't for Jane Torvill and Christopher Dean, it's entirely possible that the UK wouldn't just have missed out on Dancing on Ice, but ice figure skating in general. The pair not only earned gold at the 1984 Winter Olympics in Sarajevo, but the highest ever score for their routine, the Bolero. So named for the music it was choreographed to, their winning performance was watched by 24 million at home. So whilst it was no surprise they'd bring it back, 20 years later, for a show based on the sport they helped us fall in love with, they also revised it with every series of the first iteration, and every time we were reminded of Torvill and Dean's epic win. Number 3. The JGGC Spat. We've covered the contentious Jason Gardner and the controversial Gemma Collins. If there was ever a better example of a clash of egos, we're hard-pressed to find it. With Towie's GC on DOI, it's safe to say there was more drama off the ice than on it.
Rose on and youth is gone and you can't straighten up.
We looked at her Week 4 efforts earlier, and whilst some would admire her efforts, others might cry karma, especially given the previous week's on-air spat with Jason Gardner. Following his tabloid interview criticising her as lazy, Collins declared live that he was selling stories about her.
Maybe if you didn't sell stories on me, I wouldn't have been so upset this week.
Later, he'd alleged producers prodding him behind the scenes to be more mean, making for better TV. And according to him, they'd been riling Collins up too.
Don't sell stories on me. Get some...
Number 2. Runaway Todd Carty's on the runway. Our penultimate moment is dedicated to Todd Carty, who showed true grace in his unplanned exit mid-routine, which really wasn't bad. He was given it a go, with growing confidence in his routine set to Help by the Beatles. And then, as the Fab Four's lyrics of Help Me Get My Feet Back on the Ground also ironically blared out of the speakers, Carty's small stumble became a slip, which sent him with increasing speed right off the set. It didn't really ruin his chances. If anything, the moment enhanced them, especially considering how well-timed his recovery was, returning for the end. For us, the best reaction isn't the audience, but the late Tony Gubber on commentary, barely able to string a sentence together with his laughter.
He was so close to ending up on his backside.
Number 1. That backflip. When Torvill and Dean recounted the performances that have stuck with them, it wasn't long before Perri Kiely sprung to mind, and we couldn't agree more. For Series 12's grand final, Kiely knew he had to pull out something no one had seen before. Sort of. Those familiar with diversity know that Perri front, side and back flips throughout their performances, so that's nothing new, but they're also on solid, slightly less unforgiving ground. After plenty of practice, Kiely managed to pull off a reverse 360 at ridiculous speeds on those dangerous blades and landed safely on the ice. The display was simply outstanding, worthy of his perfect score. Surprisingly, he didn't win 2020's competition, but with his backflip still on everybody's mind, did he really need to?
40 out of 40!
Will you miss dancing on ice now that it is supposedly shelved? Or do you think it skated its course? Let us know in the comments.
John